We're going to read some more of Nora Roberts' Spellbound. We were in the middle of chapter 2. Get a drink of water first. Get the hiccups. Okay. Let's see. We're going to start over here because I'm not sure where we were. Okay. How many nights had she tossed restlessly in sleep, longing for those long, narrow hands on her? Oh, just once to feel him touch her. How many nights had she burned to see his eyes, gray as storm clouds, focused on her as he buried himself deep inside her and gave her his seed? Oh, just once to join him, to make those soft, secret sounds in the night. They were meant to be lovers. This much she believed he would accept. For a man had needs, she knew, and this one was already linked with her physically, no matter what he refused to remember. But without the love and the act of mating, there would be no joy and no hope. She braced herself and stepped into the room. You've made friends with Heket, I see. She's shameless around attractive men. Won't you sit, Caitlin, and have some tea? How do you know who I am? I'll explain what I can. Do you have no memory of me then? None at all? A tumble of red hair that shined like wet fire, a body that moved in perfect harmony with his, a laugh like fog. I don't know you, he said sharply. I don't know your name. Her eyes remained dark. I am Brianna Torrance, descendant of Brian the Wise and guardian of this place. You're welcome in my home, Kaylin Farrell, as long as you choose to stay. She bent to the tray, her movements graceful. She wore a long dress, the color of the mist curling outside the window. It draped her body, floated with her ankles. Columns of red, carved silver danced from her ears. Why? He laid a hand on her arm as she lifted the first cup. Why am I welcome in your home? Perhaps I am lonely. Her lips curved again, wistfully. I am lonely, and it's glad I am for your company. She sat, gestured for him to do the same. You need a bit of food, Kaylin, a bit of rest. I can offer you that. What I want is an explanation. He did sit, and because the hot liquid in his cup smelled glorious, he drank. You said you knew I would come. You knew my name. I want to know how either of those things are possible. It wasn't permitted to lie to him. Honesty was part of the pledge, but she could evade. I might have recognized your face. You're a successful and famous man, Kaylin. Your art has found its way even into my corner of the world. You have such talent, she murmured, such vision, such power inside you. He lifted a brow. There was women who were willing and eager to rock onto their backs for a man who had a hold on fame. He shook his head. You're no groupie, Brianna. You didn't open the door to me so that you could have a quick bout of sex with a name. But others have. There was a sting of jealousy in her voice. He couldn't have said why, but under the circumstances it amused him, which is how I know that's not what this is. Not what you are. In any case, you didn't have the time to recognize my face from some magazine or talk show. The light was bad and the rain was pouring down. His brows drew together. He couldn't be dreaming again, hallucinating. The teacup was warm in his hand, the taste of the sweet whiskey-laced brew in his mouth. Damn it, you were waiting for me, and I don't understand how. I waited for you all my life, she said quietly, and a millennium before it began. Raising her hand, she laid them on his face. Your face is the first I remember before even my own mother's. The ghost of your touch has haunted me every night of my life. That's nonsense. He brought a hand up, curled his fingers around her wrist. I can't lie to you. It's not in my power. Whatever I say to you will be the truth. Whatever you see in me will be real. She tried to touch that part of his hand, or his heart, that might still be open to her, but it was locked away, fiercely guarded. She took one long breath and accepted, for now. You're not ready to know, to hear, or to believe. Callan, you're tired and confused. It's rest you're needing, and ease of your mind. I can help you. His vision grayed, and the room swam. He could see nothing but her dark blue eyes, utterly focused. Her scent swarmed into his senses like a drug. Stop it. Rest now, my love. My love. He felt her lips brush his before he slid blissfully into the dark. Cal woke to silence. His mind circled for a moment, like a bird looking for a place to perch. Something in the tea, he thought. God, the woman had drugged him. He felt a quick panic as the theme from Stephen King's Misery played in his mind. Obsessed fan? Kidnapping? With a jolt, he sat straight up, terrified, reaching for his foot. Still attached. The black cat, which had been curled on the edge of the bed, stretched lazily and seemed to snicker. Yeah, funny, Cal muttered. He let out a long breath that trailed into the weak laugh. Letting your imagination turn cartwheels again, Kaylin, he told himself. Always been a bad habit of yours. He ordered himself to calm down. take stock of the situation, and realized he was buck naked. Surprise ran a swift race with embarrassment as he imagined Brianna undressing him with those lovely tea-serving hands and getting into bed. How in the hell had the woman carted him into a bedroom? For that was where he was. It was a small and charming room with a tiny stone hearth, a glossy bureau, flowers and candles again, books tucked into a recessed nook, a doll-sized chair set next to a window that was framed in white lace curtains. Sunlight slipped through them and made lovely and intricate patterns on the dark wood floor. At the foot of the bed was an old chest with brass fittings. His clothes, clean and dry, were folded neatly on it. At least she didn't expect him to run around in his skin, he decided, and with some relief reached quickly for his jeans. He felt immediately better once they were zipped, then realized that he felt not just better, he felt wonderful. Alert, rested, energized, whatever she had given him, he concluded, had rocked him into the solid, restful sleep he hadn't experienced in weeks. But he wasn't going to thank her for it, Cal thought grimly as he tugged on his shirt. The woman went way past eccentric. He didn't mind a little eccentricity, but this lady was deluded and possibly dangerous. He was going to see to it that she gave him some satisfactory answers, then he was going to leave her to her fairy-tale cottage and ruined castle and put some miles between them. He looked in the mirror over the bureau, half expecting to see a beard trailing down to his chest like Rip Van Winkle. But the man who stared back at him hadn't aged. He looked perplexed, annoyed, and again rested. The damnedest thing, Cal mused, scooping his hair back. He found his shoes neatly tucked beside the chest. Putting them on, he found himself studying the patterns the sunlight traced on the floor. Light. It struck him all at once, had him jumping to his feet again. The rain had stopped. For Christ's sake, how long had he been sleeping? In 2 strides he was at the window, yanking back those delicate curtains. Then he stood, spellbound. The view was stunning. He could see the rugged ground where the ruined castle climbed, make out the glints of mica in the stone where the sun struck. The ground tumbled away toward the road. Then the road gave way to wave after rolling wave of green fields, bisected with stone walls and dotted with lolling cattle. Houses were tucked into valleys and on rises. Clothes flapped cheerfully on the lines. Trees twisted up, bent by the years of resisting the relentless winds off the sea, and glossy green with spring. He saw quite clearly a young boy pedaling his blue bike into one of the narrow trenches of road, a spotted black and white dog racing beside him through the hedgerows. Home, Cal thought. Home for supper. Ma doesn't like you to be late. He found himself smiling and reached down without thinking to raise the window and let the cool, moist air in. The light swelled his artist's heart. No one could describe the light of Ireland to him. It had to be seen, experienced, like the sheen of a fine pearl, he thought. That makes the air go luminous and silky. The sun filtering through layers of clouds had a softness, a majesty he'd never seen anywhere else. He had to capture it, now, immediately. Surely such magic couldn't last. He bolted out of the room, clattered down the short flight of steps, and burst out into the gentle sun with the cat scampering at his heels. He grabbed the Nikon off the front seat of his car. His hands were quick and competent as he changed lenses. Then, swinging his case over his shoulder, he picked his position. The fairy-tale cottage, he thought, the abundance of flowers, the light, oh, that light. He framed, calculated, and framed again. Chapter 3. Brianna stepped through the arched doorway of the room and watched him. Such energy, such concentration. Her lips bowed up. He was happy in his work and his art. He needed this time, she thought, just as he needed those hours of deeply dreamless sleep. Soon he would have questions again, and she would have to answer. She stepped back inside, wanting to give him his privacy. Alone with her thoughts, she walked to the center of the castle, where flowers grew out of the dirt in a circle thick with blooms. Lifting her face to the light, raising her arms to the sky, she began her chant. Power tingled in her fingertips, but it was weak, so weak that she wanted to weep in frustration. Once she had known its full strength. Now she knew the pain of its decline. It was ordained, this I know, but here on ground where flowers grow, I call the wind, I call the sun. What was done can be undone. No harm to him shall come through me. As I will, so mote it be. The wind came, fluttering her hair like gentle fingers. The sun beat warm on her upturned face. I call the fairies, I call the wise. Use what power you can devise. Hear me speak, though my charms are weak. Cast a circle for my own true love. Guard him fast from above. Harm to none, my vow is free. As I will, so mote it be. The power shimmered, brighter, warmer. She fought to hold it, to absorb what gift was given. She thrust up a hand. The silver of the ring she wore exploding with light as a single narrow beam shot through the layering clouds and struck. The heat of it flowed up her arm, made her want to weep again, this time in gratitude. She was not yet defenseless. Cal clicked the shutter again and again. He took nearly a dozen pictures of her. She stood, still as a statue, in a perfect circle of flowers. Some old trick of the wind made it blow her hair away from her glowing face. Some odd trick of the light made it beam down on her in a single perfect diagonal shaft. She was beautiful, unearthly. Though his heart stumbled when his fingers appeared to explode with light, he continued to circle her and capture her on film. Then she began to move, just the sway of her body, rhythmic, sensual. The wind whipped the thin fabric of her dress, then had it clinging to those slim curves. The language she spoke now was familiar from his